More than 500,000 people in the Bay Area are living without enough food to eat. And now that number is surging after Hurricane Irma. But this is not stopping Feeding Tampa Bay from being the hunger relief leader in our area. And here to tell us all that they are doing and how you can help is Director of Marketing, JC Peters. JC, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, always when you're here, it's always staggering statistics. And now it's obviously gotten even worse in a way because of the hurricanes. But first, talk about your involvement in the community. How are you able to help? Hurricane taken out of it.
Yeah, so Feeding Tampa Bay, we are the backbone of hunger relief in the Bay Area. We serve 10 counties in West Central Florida. So our job is really to go out and find food from farmers, retail partners, manufacturers, community food drives. Wherever we can get our hands on food, we'll gather that food and then we'll share it out back through a network of agency partners. Those are your local church pantries, soup kitchens that are, you know, those boots on the ground.
And so then the hurricane kind of rolls in, or we get into that cone of uncertainty as you and I are maybe going and trying to find water. You guys get to work. Talk about how you're able to start getting things stocked up before a hurricane hits.
So we pulled out our disaster relief plan about a week before the storm hit. And at that point, we had to assess if this was going to be, you know, a local problem or a statewide problem, probably both. And so as the hurricane adjusted its path each day, we adjusted our plan. And so we really rallied our volunteers to make sure that we could get enough bags packed to go after the storm. We also worked with our network of agency partners to make sure their pantries were stocked so that as soon as that storm hit, we're ready to respond immediately.
And post-hurricane, from our conversations before, really is twofold. Of course, the demand goes up, but so does the help.
Yes.
Talk about the relationship.
So, you know, we consider ourselves at Feeding Tampa Bay to be in this wonderful network, both in the community where we're providing food, but also, you know, receiving the support as you're talking about. And so we have, since the storm, received an enormous amount of support through food donations, monetary donations. We've received state support. Being part of the Feeding America network of food banks, we also receive national support. And so we're able to gather those resources that are incredibly, you know, in high need right now for the families that we're serving.
And, you know, perhaps this is a misconception, but the hurricane is past. Everybody, you know, seems to have power now. And everyone's kind of moving on, but that's not the case at all, because hunger can kind of be affected differently in a way.
Right. And so, you know, hunger is an issue every day of the year, but when a disaster hits like this, you know, families who have been, you know, out of work are not receiving the paychecks that they're normally receiving. Maybe they had damage to their house. They were without power, so they lost all of their food. So this is not something that we just immediately respond to. You know, we'll be responding for 90 days, 120 days, months, even up to a year in advance to help families get back on their feet.
Wow. And, you know, one of the things that I really like about Feeding Tampa Bay is that you guys are trying to change the stigma of hunger.
Absolutely.
And how are you changing the stigma, and what exactly is it?
You know, a lot of folks, when you think of hunger, you think of homelessness, and that's just not really the case. So only 5% of the individuals that we serve are in fact homeless. So that means 95% of people rent or own their own home. These are families that are hardworking, single parents. They just are not making enough to make ends meet. We have seniors on fixed incomes. And so it's a lot of times people that could look like you and me, coworkers, people in our neighborhoods. And so, you know, that is something that Feeding Tampa Bay has really tried to educate the community, is that, you know, hunger has, it knows no race, age, you know, it could happen to anyone, and it's a car accident, a medical emergency, and in this case, a natural disaster away from putting someone in a position where they can't supply food to their family.
Well, we want to be able to help you be put in position so that you can help by sharing the information. Of course, there's the info on your screen, phone number, website. JC, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.